Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of DarkMatch for TNA for May 5th, 2011, Cinco de Mayo. I'm one of your hosts, Mr. War Machine.
I'm the Revolver Man.
And I'm DigiFox.
And I am Backlash, and of course it is once again time for What is Iron Sheik tweeting now? I throw some in the fucking river, make the shark eat his dick and balls, then I kill Hulk Hogan, fuck his ass, make him humble. You knew he'd take credit for that.
He's got to always throw Hulk Hogan in there. It's a prerequisite.
Hey,
well, I think at this point we'd all throw Hulk Hogan in there.
Well, I'm thinking at this point, frickin' Sheik thinks Hulk Hogan and Osama bin Laden were the same person.
Probably.
Well,
He's not really dead. I see him every Thursday night on Impact. You put them in the ring with me. I fuck him in the ass. I put them in the camel clutch. I make him humble. Because I love you all out there. I do. It's true.
Well, he wouldn't be able to swim because he's got that bum leg.
And bum everything.
Yes, at this point.
Yeah, the sharks would pretty much tear him apart.
Anyways. So, we're stalling, clearly, because, well, none of us want to talk about Impact.
Right.
But we're going to do it anyway because we love you so much. Anyways, we start with our typical recap of last week because I guess TNA goes under the assumption that nobody can watch 2 episodes of the same in a row, so they have to recap everything. And after that, we start with Hulk Hogan and Immortal in the ring already with Sting and RVD trying to get to the ring to beat them up. You know, woo, faces, yay. Because security holds them back because I guess all of security is heel now. I figure. And Hogan talks about how they're going to stand there all night long, but the Three Stooges are holding them back or something like that. I don't know.
You numbskulls.
I'd rather watch the Three Stooges. That's for I'm sure.
We could do our own Three Stooges better than anything Impact can do.
That would actually be rather entertaining. If we ever somehow manage to meet up, we should totally do that. And so then, at that point, was that when Fortune came out, and then it broke out into a massive brawl?
Pretty much. Let's just jump to that.
Yeah.
So
they
Fortune
just
comes
appeared.
out. Fortune comes out, and then they, I'm assuming, break through the security holds, at which point Sting and RVD slip through almost unnoticed, and then a massive fight breaks out between, well, massive, considering there's maybe like 3 members of Immortal, Hulk Hogan, and Eric Bischoff in the ring. But, you know.
Well, at the very least, it's some action. I guess I got a compliment for starting with people actually doing something rather than just talking about it.
Us compliment TNA? Surely you jest. But anyway,
the highlight of this, if I recall correctly, is that the road agents came in and they started getting beat up too.
I mean, it's just it was a fight, and you know, it was definitely a fight, and you know.
Yeah, but anyways, it goes on from there that Fortune starts bitching at Hogan because, like, he's given nothing back to the TNA fans. He's stolen everything from Dixie Carter. And apparently, he's fired Jay Lethal, which is bullshit because Jay Lethal took his ball and ran to Ring of Honor.
Where he would get more screen time.
He'd get more screen time than himself.
Yeah.
Which I guess that means you're probably going to have to retire that joke.
So, basically, Robert Roode just tells us everything that we already know about Hogan.
Again.
Yeah. And, you know, it's just... It was... That promo, I felt, while poignant, was very unnecessary. And was fairly... I wouldn't say poorly delivered. But it was just... it just felt unnecessary, and therefore it kind of took any emotion that might have been there out of it, because it's like, yeah, we know all this. Why are you getting so worked up? You know. except for the fired Jay Lethal thing. But, factual inaccuracies aside, it was just...
And in storyline, what exactly does firing Jay Lethal do for Hulk Hogan? I don't know what that was meant to accomplish.
It's just be like, oh, he fired that black guy who did the Macho Man impression, who we didn't see very much. But that's not the point, We're pissed off, brother, And they're always shooting, so. But
yeah, it's funny how they're making after he's quit, they're making Jay Lethal a big deal.
Yeah, precisely. But not.
You really gotta hand it to. Well, what should we call this show now with the upcoming name change?
Can we just call it shit? Because that's what it is.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we can still call it Shit Pact.
At least...
That has a ring to it.
At least Lethal is actually getting screen time now.
Yes, they fire him, then they promote the hell out of him. What the hell?
But not to dwell on the subject, let us move on. Backstage, the Jerks are talking to Velvet Sky, and they're accusing her of being Kurt Angle's mistress.
Why does Karen care? They're already divorced.
I don't know.
Because she's a screaming harpy.
I don't know. I don't understand what the point is. So,
she makes windows shatter.
Yes.
She makes people turn to stone.
She turns them into pillars of salt.
Oh, snap. But at one point, Karen just goes, I'll make you an offer you can't refuse. Cut to someone walking. And it's just like, wait, what? Hold on. Rewind. Why, is Velvet Sky turning heel? Is she going to refuse this offer? That can't be refused? Shut up. It's just... It was just, she went from I hate you to, let's be friends.
Oh, yes. We should also mention that Angelina Love was cloaked in towels, acting like she just got out of the shower, when she was clearly dry as a bone.
Well, we need some way to get a lady almost topless.
Yeah. But, anyways...
Moving on to Sangrietto.
I don't know what I said, but apparently I said the wrong name.
I think you just said some guy, but it is Sangrietto. I'm totally not a ripoff of Sin Cara, basically just wandering around backstage.
Yeah. Then it cuts to Matt Hardy. Yay. And he's talking crap about beer money, and he says he is, and I quote, "Hey-oh, one half of the greatest tag team of all time." And I collectively slammed my head against the wall so hard, my neighbors filed a noise complaint.
I wanted to leg drop my TV when I heard that.
Having some good matches, having a few good matches here and there, and, going back and watching their matches now, the quality of their matches is actually quite debatable. Because it really is spot fest. Matt does some barely technical stuff. Spot fest, and it's just. But
Matt,
I digress.
Matt,
and then he says,
Matt,
stop it!
You have to accept the fact you were the Jannetty. Okay, that has to be said.
No, because people still care about Jannetty 15 years afterwards. Nobody's going to care about Matt 15 years from now.
Jeff is not even the Shawn of the team.
Yeah, they're both the Jannettys of their own team.
No,
there's got to be a better. There's got to be a better way to phrase this. They're both the X-Pac of their team.
Yes.
Ooh. I don't know. That's a pretty big slap in the face to X-Pac.
Jeff's the Jannetty and Matt's the El Snow.
If you had said that a few months ago, I would have been offended. But with his behavior, you know what? That's fair comment.
But we digress. Matt then makes a rather ambiguous comment. He's got a special partner for beer money. It's Jeff at Sacrifice. Are they seriously teasing Jeff's return?
Yes.
I mean, it's just like no one cares. Like, you will be lucky if he doesn't get, like, X-Pac heated out of the building.
Oh.
Like, no one in the Impact Zone cares about him. I mean, you know, he is past his prime to a point where even some of the codgers in TNA are just like, yeah, bro, step down. You know, it's just... it's ridiculous.
We're breaking attention.
What was the point again? I forgot what we were talking about.
We were talking about Impact, which is why we got off topic. But
okay.
It's time for the opening match. Suicide versus Sangriento.
The hottest luchador to come out of Mexico in 20 years, according to TNA.
Really? Because he kind of looks like a guy from Brooklyn in a mask.
Screw you, TNA. Screw you hard. I guess I can't really complain too much about this match. I mean, it wasn't terrible. You know, it was watchable, and you know, there were some pretty decent spots, like the Frankensteiner that Sangriento gave to Suicide on the floor was pretty cool. You know, the springboard diamond cutter. It was a decent match, and you know, Sangriento pulled out the win, which at least they're pushing Amazing Red. I mean,
damn it, man! You just broke kayfabe.
God, sorry. My bad. Just forgive me. A minor faux pas. It won't happen again.
You better not.
Wrestling news. Yeah, Sangriento wins, and the world could not give less of a fuck.
Yeah, they can, because next we go to Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff backstage.
Oh,
and
yeah, it's not,
the
brother.
world wishes that they were watching Sangriento versus Suicide over and over and over again.
Hogan is apparently talking about how great it felt to hit D'Lo, which raises all kinds of unfortunate implications for the man from Florida. But anyways, he and Bishop bitch about who could it possibly be the network, and they seem to settle on that it's Flair. Flair.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, Flair, woo.
Yeah, because Flair has lots of money and power these days.
Little backstory for that comment. For those who do not know, Flair is... Well, let's just say if this was still the 1800s, he'd be in debtor's prison right now. God knows how... he's got like 3 liens on his old NWA championship belt. High Spots tried to sell it to recoup their losses, and then discovered that, in fact, they were not the only ones who had a lien on it, and thus such are now suing Flair, and he is proceeding to just ignore the court orders rather than do anything about them. Which means that, well, my guess is that Flair's just going to vanish somewhere in North Africa or something.
Because I'm God.
Well, wouldn't that be awesome if he went to a judge and just went, "Oh my God! Woo! 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 Woo!"
Oh, that has to show up on court TV. Please make it happen. Dixie, if you're listening.
He just starts wooing at the judge. He somehow starts to bleed and starts stripping down in the courtroom.
Yeah, rips off his jacket, stomps on it a few times.
And if they're able to do this in the Carolinas, he might win the case.
No, he wouldn't win. They'd just delay it for, 5 years.
So
well, that could be good enough for whatever Flair's plan is.
Okay, we're breaking the tangent count. Let's get back on track.
All right.
So we go to commercial, and then we come back and see Mexican American.
Oh no!
celebrating Cinco de Mayo.
None of you are Mexican!
Fuck.
How have none of you caught this? It's 2 Americans and a chick from Canada, and one guy who I think might be Puerto Rican.
Who's Buff Bagwell's love child.
You're not
God.
Mexican!
So, here's what happened. They start bashing America, talking about how Mexico's the greatest country in the world. As stated, none of them are from Mexico. And they call Willie Urbina and Hector Guerrero down to the ring to celebrate with them. And,
oh yeah, the Cinco de Mayo celebration, extremely racist.
yeah. Here's what happened. At one point, Arkia, how the heck do you say his name? Anyways, a Mexican Buff Bagwell, gets in Urbina's face for being Puerto Rican.
Because apparently Puerto Rican is bad. They're part of the U.S. and they're the man.
That makes no sense! You're not Mexican! You're not making any sense! Space! Space! Wanna go to space! Gotta go to space! Get a telescope! You'll see me in my spacesuit! Space!
I think we just broke Backlash.
You don't want to save that segment? Do you really know what would have saved that segment? What? If Hector Guerrero called them all out and said, "Hey, none of you are Mexican either,"
that'd have been pretty funny.
And the whole thing was just offensive. I mean, it was probably more offensive than Brock Lesnar's with the time he...
At least he didn't pretend to be Mexican as his gimmick.
I'm just waiting for the point at which they hang a bunch of people in the angle, where they hang a bunch of black people in the impact zone. That's what I'm.
Glory! You bitch at us, Mr. Producer, for saying shit like that. But anyway, another fact about this little thing that we have to mention is during the segment they watch confetti everywhere, which explains why there was confetti in the match before this. Wait, no, it doesn't. They filmed it out of order and didn't think to clean up before they started sprinting and editing and doing a fuck job at making a TV show.
Hey, we don't care about continuity.
Okay,
They clearly don't.
I don't want to talk about this segment anymore, so let's wrap this up. Inc. runs out and chases Mexican-American out of the ring. And Jesse Neal tells Mexican-American that they don't disrespect the USA and they don't disrespect the flag. Then he says something that I can't, you know what? Forget it. I'm not going to preface this. I'm not going to qualify it. I'm just going to say what he said. He tells Mexican-American to get their green cards and don't let the door hit them in the ass on the way out.
Oh. When they're not even Mexican.
All but 2 of them are Americans. They don't have green cards. They have citizenship papers.
Hey, Russo. Yeah, the view from the high road is very nice. Thank you for asking.
I blacked out there. What just happened?
Green cards, Backlash, green cards.
Space! Go!
So yes, we have apparently aborting his heel turn, Inc.'s Shannon Moore and Jesse Neal taking on a Mexican-Americans for the Honor of the United States match, which I'm going to have to assume is going to be flag on a pole.
Oh yeah, you know it.
You know Vince Russo say, put everything on a pole. That makes it a whole lot more exciting. And, those dirty Mexicans come down from wherever, Japan land, wherever they came from. They love climbing up them poles, That's all they do. They flip off of shit and stuff.
Once again, if you had a Bronx or a Brooklyn accent, that would probably sound exactly like what Russo says in the booking committee meetings in TNA.
I was trying. My Brooklyn accent is a bit off.
So, the last time they did this, Latin American Exchange, everyone remembers it. It was actually a halfway decent gimmick. And, while it was a tad racist, yes, it was still smarter than this because it was just general Latin in general. It didn't specify anything. Clearly, Russo didn't have a major hand in writing that, but whatever. Hernandez's dad stopped talking to him after he did this the last time. And Latin American Exchange was actually faces for a while. But I don't see that happening to Mexican American. It's just...
No.
Why? Why do they degrade themselves for such... They can make the same amount of money on the indies. All of these guys, except for maybe Mexican Buff Bagwell, are relatively talented. And they just degrade themselves for the smallest, morsel of what they can get on TV. Just don't. God damn it, Genghis.
Genghis, these
God
guys
damn it, Genghis.
Genghis, they make $200 a freaking show. I think they can make more than that on the indies.
It's just ridiculous. And I don't want to talk about this anymore because I feel like my Latin neighbors across the street are getting pitchforks and torches at me even mentioning this happening. So let's move.
I am saddened that we don't have a Latino correspondent with us to really ratchet up the rage for us. But we can't always get what we want. But now we get, let's see here. Oh yes, Bully Ray and Gunner taking on AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels. And as you notice, that means Christopher Daniels has worked 2 matches tonight.
So he gets paid $400?
No, they only pay him $100.
Damn.
If even that.
Anyways, so yeah, Bully Ray fats up the joint, and nobody gives a shit about Gunners. And, well, AJ and Christopher know what they're doing, but, Bully Ray fats up the place. The real turning point of this match is when all of a sudden, Tommy Dreamer runs down.
Oh, yes.
I want to go back to space.
I almost forgot about this. So, what happens is, Dreamer runs out, gets in Bully Ray's face. They start jaw-jacking back and forth. And then, out of nowhere, Dreamer pile drives AJ Styles. Just for no reason whatsoever. They I don't know what to say. I really don't. It is textbook Russo booking. And he thought it was the greatest swerve on the face of the planet. You see, that's the thing about Russo. He thinks that all of his swerves are the greatest swerves on the face of the fracking planet. And, he is the M. Night Shyamalan of wrestling. He really is.
No,
come on now. You guys really, you can't really bash me for Tommy Dreamer turning heel. I mean, none of you saw that coming. It got ratings, man. You know what you're saying?
I just...
So Tommy Dreamer turns heel just for no fucking reason.
Well, that's not even the best part. That is not the best part. He starts to cry after he does it.
No.
Well, Tommy Dreamer's good at crying. We've established that.
Just when you think they can't bury Tommy any further, make him look even more like a pussy, there he is, in the middle of the ring crying again, because he turned on his pants. I'm not doing an impression. I'm actually crying now.
Seriously. I mean, remember when he was the innovator of violence and the great underdog hero, and now he just cries about how much Vince McMahon screwed him?
Please, Dixie, please give us a chance. Because Vince ruined our legacies.
Yeah, he paid us regularly. What a bastard.
You can't see what I'm doing right now, but I'm miming masturbation.
Shouldn't you be doing a fellatio mime? Wait, how do you do that with a woman? Duos, can you help us out for a second here?
Dude!
Come on, Dixie.
But yes, let's get back on topic. Tommy Dreamer starts to cry after his heel turn. Now, I want to ask you guys seriously. Has there ever been a heel turn that was immediately preceded by crying?
R-Truth, maybe?
R-Truth didn't cry, though. He just became a Twisted Metal character.
Which is actually kind of interesting. You see, on WWE, they make R-Truth interesting. On TNA, they have Tommy Dreamer crying.
Because they think, you know what they think it is? They think it portrays real emotion. They're shooting. They're always shooting. Shooting!
There's not supposed to be crying in wrestling, so Russo's swerving us by, guess what? We're going to have crying in wrestling.
Yeah, but all he's got is the audience crying because this is painful.
But if there's, I don't know what to say. Like it is like walking into a revolving door, and just every time you walk through it, someone is just right there and says, "Look alive, fuckface," and kicks you in the nuts. I mean, there's just no way to describe how bad Vince Russo. He doesn't know how to handle anything. I'm pretty sure he couldn't rewrite Cat in the Hat because he'd have to take a swerve at the end that Cat in the Hat was a pedophile.
Wait. You gotta remember. Hey, you gotta remember that Vince Russo once tried to push a pedophilic priest gimmick once.
Ah!
Friar Ferguson?
Let's not bring that up. We are already... I'm already near suicidal at this point, okay?
This is just a rumor, so God knows if it's true or not. But apparently, one of the booking meetings in TNA, he said that they should introduce a pedophilic priest for, like, somebody to beat up or something.
Russo, is nothing sacred? Do you not look at something and think, I can't touch that with a 10-foot pole? Not because he thinks he can't handle it, because he probably thinks he can. It's just too sensitive of a subject. No, you do not. You make babies cry, Russo. Do you know what I do to people who make babies cry?
You punch them?
I can more than punch them. Let's just say there's a lot of plots in my backyard.
But the thing is, I think the perfect way, how would I describe it? You know what Russo does? He makes Jesus weep. And if we still had video editing, I would have put in that clip from Hellraiser. Because quite frankly, getting shoved with hooks and pulled apart sounds pretty nice compared to Russo right now.
It's
Maybe we should move on.
Yes, someone's gonna, like... okay, whatever. Next we have Tommy Dreamer flipping out backstage! My God, it doesn't end!
Well, at least he's going from crying to anger.
Maybe? Wait. Maybe they are ripping off the R-Truth thing with Tommy Dreamer.
But why? Why? R-Truth has a reason. R-Truth has a reason to turn back and heel. His best friend screwed him out of his title shot. Just up and decided, no, you don't get your time. It is J-Mo all day. And then Truth retaliates and feels that he has been not respected by the fans and the peers in the locker room and all that nonsense. Dreamer has no reason. He has no rhyme. He has nothing. Nothing!
He just turns heel and decides to go beat up a bunch of lockers.
War Machine. Please stop asking why. There is no why. We can't discern why.
Maybe we should abandon logic at this
Till the end
point.
of time, we will never find out why. Let's just move on.
And guess
So we
what we move on to? Oh, wait,
What?
sorry. Hold on. We get Fortune talking about trying to figure out why Tommy did what he did. Now they're going to get answers, and Dreamer's going to get beat up. Bully Ray finds Matt and says that Dreamer did the right thing, so they're probably doing like a blackmail angle combined with insanity, so God knows how that's going to end up. Dreamer looks... Bully Ray just starts talking shit that he shouldn't talk about because he's an idiot. And let's move on, but let's not, because we're moving on to Velvet Sky, Karen Jarrett, Angelina Love, Winter, and that whole fiasco.
Oh, fuck.
Although I do like the fact that they imply that Winter is in fact an evil time-traveling lesbian witch.
What
the fuck is this? I don't even... Oh, why do we put ourselves through this? Have you ever just thought, there's stuff we could be doing besides watching Impact?
I could have been watching Swamp Thing.
Masturbating to porn or anything.
Whoa, okay.
God, this is going to be a banned episode, isn't it?
DarkMatch, too hot for the internet. Yes, you thought that wasn't possible. We found a way.
Anyways, after that, after we see Winter on camera drugging Angelina Love. Yeah, because apparently nobody gives a shit if they're... Well, honestly, why should they give a shit? Cops never show up to this place anymore.
So, Winter's feeding roofies, and then she makes this really weird comment, and says Winter has crossed eons of time to get back to her.
Evil, lesbian, time-traveling witch. I just said that.
She's going back to the future, or back to the past.
She has a TARDIS stored backstage.
I'm not going to change that for Winter because I'd probably be killed for that. But anyways, after that stunning revelation, we get to see the Jarretts come out to the ring. Woo! More Jeff Jarrett. Because that's exactly what we wanted back in 1996. And even then, that's debatable.
So it says here the crowd is actually chanting sloppy seconds.
They were not. They put that in.
That was post-production chanting?
Yeah. The crowd was not moving.
Fuck Russo.
Oh, Russo, my God. I guess you decide I have no dignity, so nobody else should have dignity.
If this was a drinking game, we would all be dead.
I feel like I had a drop.
Okay, War Machine, take it away.
War Machine? Shit, did we kill him?
That's 2 down, it's just you and me.
Oh, fuck.
Do you want to take it away, or?
I guess I will. So, Karen's still on her hunt for the mistress, even though it's pointless. And that nearly every girl in the locker room has been cheating. except her. So, are we going to start having Karen Angle compete for the Knockout Championship? Because if you really wanted to get that motherfucker, the only way it could have gone any deeper is if you gave it to fucking David Arquette.
I think that would be a step up in terms of quality.
Anyways, she then comments that Velvet lays down a lot and accusing her of hitching herself to Kurt's wagon, which to me sounds like an insane thing to do considering what Kurt Angle does when he drives.
Yeah, he's not on his wagon.
To get herself to the top of TNA, and if where Velvet is the top of TNA for women, that's a very small molehill to climb. So, let's see what else here. Looking through the notes. Velvet says that she loves hearing herself talk. I don't know why she would bother that, and she doesn't know what Karen is talking about. The only thing she shared with Kurt is conversation. And she would never think of sleeping with somebody to get ahead because that's Karen's style. Ooh, ice burn.
Yeah, Velvet's just more about the teasing.
Yes.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Velvet's a very strong believer that you don't give the milk away for free, or whatever that saying is. Anyway, Velvet says she's right. She's never been champion, but now she's not BFFs with Angela anymore, and I almost took a gun and shot myself. Nobody says BFF if they're over 14.
I go to a school with a lot of girls in BFF.
You have my sympathy then. If you have to go to school with a bunch of fucking Angelinas and Velvet Skies.
I don't know about that. They're a lot smarter than Angelina Love and Velvet Sky.
Anyway, her goal is to become Knockouts champion. Karen asks Velvet if she's giving a lap dance to Kurt. What?
What?
I really don't know what the hell she was going on about. Anyways, let's sum this up. Karen thinks Velvet slept with Kurt. She says she didn't. And, spoiler alert, she didn't. But we're going to find out who did next week. Stay tuned, folks.
Yeah, all that suspense.
All of that, Angelina and Winter come, and, well, then...
They do nothing!
Before they can kick the crap out of Velvet, Kurt Angle's music hits. And the way that Velvet was acting and Winter was acting, it looked like he was getting ready to choke a bitch.
Well, knowing Kurt, he probably was.
So anyways, then we have the main event, which is Kurt and Angelina versus Jeff, Winter, and Angelina, if I recall.
Okay. Good God. What?
What happened? Where are we?
There was no match. What are you talking about? You just jumped ahead like two matches.
No, I'm saying that was booked then, not that we're going to that match.
Yeah, they just came out and hyped the match and then something else.
Okay, Let me spell it out in case you're confused. There is a main event booked in this segment. It is Kurt and Velvet Sky versus Jeff Jarrett, Angelina Love, and Winter. End of statement. Move on.
Thank you.
Eric Bischoff.
So yes, we get Eric Bischoff, complaining about how Kurt Angle is making matches. Yeah! Funny how he has that power, eh, Barrett Bischoff? You think that's something only the owners could do?
And the network.
It's like somebody who's not Russo but somehow has booking power loves to point out their own plot holes.
Okay, so
it's really getting surreal here. I swear to God, if like a few months from now we're suddenly going to have Russo sitting in the ring saying that this was all a social experiment, I would not be surprised.
Oh, okay.
So we have Murphy and Rob Terry.
But
first we have to point this out because it comes up again later. Crimson is backstage with a sledgehammer looking for Samoa Joe. Why? I don't know.
Abyss? Who's Abyss? Why would I care what Abyss is doing?
I'm taking a break from Abyss and I'm feuding with Samoa Joe this week.
Yeah, and speaking of which, the Pope not on TV anymore.
Oh yeah, done. He's gone.
So once again, TNA ruins yet another promising superstar. A superstar, I might add, that they actually almost fucking built from the ground up. Well, he did, but he was almost completely TNA bound. But no, we're going to have to... And I don't want to sound like I'm throwing Samoa Joe under the bus in any way, but they just killed both these guys in this stupid feud, but at least fucking Joe gets to stay on TV.
Well, the thing is, if you weren't over in WWE, you're probably not going to be profitable to TNA. That's their mindset. Despite the fact that Pope was probably one of the better talents they had going for them, but we expect them to start making sense now.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to profit in TNA. But that's
so we have Rob Terry versus Murphy, and the winner gets to stay in Immortal.
Yeah. Here's a hint. Rob Terry wins.
So we're gonna have to say goodbye to Gunner's pal.
Oh no! However, will we go on?
What do you think? Well, I'm worried about how this is going to affect Ric Flair when he comes back. What's he going to talk about now?
We'll just give him a singles push.
Gunner's other pal.
So who wants to believe that now they're going to make Rob Terry and Gunner the main tag team of Immortal?
They're the only two guys left.
Yeah. Isn't this a threatening faction, by the way? Rob Terry, Gunner, Bischoff, Matt, Bully, and Hogan.
And maybe Abyss. Is he still in there?
Oh, fuck. Who knows with Abyss?
Remember when Immortal first started and they actually had promising guys in there like AJ Styles and Beer Money and Kazarian? And now we have Rob Terry.
Yeah, they got rid of that.
And what's shocking is Rob Terry's the only guy from the old British invasion that's still around. And he was easily the worst of that group.
Speaking of which, where are Williams and Magnus? We haven't seen them since lockdown.
Parts unknown.
They're looking up the underneath of the bus.
Maybe they're resting with.
They got sent to little. They got sent to Little People's Court.
I didn't know they opened up a branch underneath the TNA ring.
Oh yeah, man, they're expanding. It's actually quite profitable. I've taken interest in their stocks.
Good to know. Now, after that, we get our.
We actually have Hogan and Bischoff backstage because just to make that last match completely pointless, they then kick Rob Terry out of Immortal just because they can. And they don't even have Rob Terry.
So here is the muscle of Immortal, our ladies and gentlemen, our listeners. Fat, Hardy, and Bully Ray.
And
Wow.
No. If they got rid of
gone
Murphy,
now.
No, here's what they're going to do. Since Rob Terry, Gunner, and Murphy are all new guys, at least relatively new, they're so getting rid of them. They're going to make Immortal pure and make it only over 45 motherfuckers. So soon we will see Gunner drummed out, and we will have the perfect faction of Old Man, Fat Man, and Talker.
And also Fat Man.
Yes. There's a lot of fat men in Immortal, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, let's move on from that aneurysm to our next aneurysm, because Crimson has found Samoa Joe. And thanks him for the assist last week. What assist? God, I don't even remember. Did they fight last week or something?
I don't think anybody remembers.
Well, then fuck this.
But yeah, so apparently Joe doesn't need anybody's help, and, well, who the fuck knows where this is going. I'm guessing it's going to be a rip-off Triple H match with the Sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's time for the Impact title match of the week. It is the knockouts match between Mickie James and everybody stop. I want to ask the listeners, who do you think it could possibly be? Do you think who it is? Alright. Who do you guys think it is? Don't look at the spoilers. Who will you guess it is?
Daphne?
Not a bad guess.
Collective punch in the face.
That collective punch in the face, ladies and gentlemen, is named Miss Tessmacher.
Oh, fuck.
Why?
Trained by Lacey Bond,
Why?
ladies and gentlemen.
Why? Space! Why?
Because Eric Bischoff is a Superman fan?
I'm annoyed. I want this to end. You know, I understand TNA's place in the world. It needs to go. Just go away. Just go bye. And it wasn't a bad match. It really wasn't. It's just they just pulled Tessmacher right out of the collective TNA anus. And, you know, it was just so odd. And, you know, I guess I expected it to suck way more than it did, because it didn't really suck. It was just odd. It was just an odd choice. And it was a fairly decent match, and Tessmacher performed adequately, I guess. I mean, she does have Mickie James carrying her, so, you know, we can't really judge her based on her skill until she gets into the ring with some real consummate professionals like Madison Rayne. But I think, needless to say, Mickie James wins. And, spoiler alert. And afterwards, oh, god damn it.
Speaking of Madison Rayne.
Yeah, Madison comes out with Tara, and she starts talking about how long her title reign was, and said she was the longest ever. And
that's sad. That's sad.
And then she says something along the lines of, "I'm offering you a rematch out of the kindness of my heart." And it was just like, what? And she keeps referring to the Knockouts title as her title, and it's just like, bitch, if you don't shut your mouth, there will be...
You know, I don't know where Madison really is coming off with this taunting, considering that she jobbed out in 26 seconds in the title match.
Damn it!
I don't want to see a rematch. I don't want to see Madison Rayne on my fucking TV screen anymore. I don't care anymore. I never cared.
Isn't she supposed to be breaking up with Tara? I mean...
I still don't care.
I'm done. I'm done with Madison Rayne. I'm done with Tara. I'm done with Mickie James. I'm done with Miss Tessmacher before she even started. I'm done with this knockouts bullcrap. Because it's not... It's really... Like, there may be some good matches every now and again, but truly, most of the time, it isn't worth it, and it just sends me into a possible aneurysm.
So I'm done TNA...
Are we still talking about the segment? Because I don't want to.
We're done. We're done talking about this segment.
Let's just move on.
But guess what? We're moving on to something even better.
Oh, yes. This was the segment. It's Brian Kendrick, Amazing Red, and Generation Me, who are not feuding anymore for some reason. They're complaining that they don't get TV time. And they're saying, what happened to Jay Lethal is not going to happen to us.
Once again, I have to stop this once again. Jay Lethal's getting pushed to the moon now that he's gone!
Yeah, he's getting actual, honest to goodness screen time. It's like they've been watching our wrestling podcasts.
I'm willing to bet that at least half the people who watch Impact seriously don't even know who Jay Lethal is anymore. They're like, what are they talking about? Oh, that black guy who showed up at Lockdown for like 5 minutes.
Well, no, they don't know Jay Lethal, but they probably remember Black Machismo.
Yeah, if they said what happened to Black Machismo wasn't going to happen to us, they'd be like, oh, you know. I'm fucking fuck you.
Bischoff just buries them with a shovel and dirt. And,
yeah, he literally, he just goes, he sits there and he essentially collectively looks at him, and he may as well have just tossed, just piss in their face. Because that's how he treats the situation.
He cut a Vanilla Midgets promo on TV!
By the way, a small change of subject before we move on. Speaking of Generation Me, did Max Buck ever get his title shot? No, didn't think so. Don't expect him to either.
That was too long ago.
Yes, Bischoff freaking pulls that you guys are too short and uninteresting to be stars bullshit. Seriously, this is... Even with Russo's stupid booking, you would think Bischoff, who saw exactly what happened when Nash pulled that crap, would be smart enough to go, that's a stupid thing to say on the air. Maybe I'm just giving Bischoff too much credit or something.
Yeah, you are.
Okay. What's the next segment?
It's the main event. Jeff Jarrett, Winter, and Angelina Love versus Kurt Angle and Velvet Sky.
You mean it's almost over?
Dear God.
I have something to say. I have something to say. I am now announcing my official entry into TNA, since they're just taking any no-talent hack in the world and just throwing them into the main event. I decided, well, I may as well try my luck in TNA, and they signed me to a multi-million-dollar contract. Huh, funny. All I had to do was tell them I worked for WWE once.
And they won't check either. You know they don't check.
Oh, no. Any jobber who worked a match against Kozlov when he was on that bull-crap winning streak, could go in there and say, I work for WWE, and all of a sudden they are getting paid Hulk Hogan amounts of money. It is retarded.
It's really quite... I remember back in 05 and 06, And if I could go back then, I'd have to slap myself because I was complaining about TNA then for its foolish booking. But at least those were minor problems.
I
remember when I once said that, wow, Christian Cage has only been with TNA for 2 months and he's already getting a title shot? I laugh at myself now.
Hey, it was only before Sting made him job to him. Anyways, as you can guess, the match kind of sucked.
Well, what can you expect? It was two angles that have been strangely, without really any kind of reason behind it, smushed together.
Yeah, just like smashed together human centipede style.
That's a good way to put TNA right now. It's like eating shit that was already shit.
Perfect analogy.
That's about an accurate assessment. It's like going to the Rancor pit thinking that you're going to survive.
Somebody, and where's our frickin' Skywalker when we need him?
Yeah. Right here. I want this feud to end. I want both of those feuds to end. But I more so want, I just want peace. I want quiet. I want solace. I want to tune into Impact and just have nothing happening. Quite literally nothing.
And you're not going to get it. Because guess what they implied at the end of the show?
No.
That it could be Flair or Russo as the network, and that's not even the worst part. They're not even the worst part that they mentioned Russo again on air. Written across Hogan's car were the words, "You're next."
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
I'm officially going Looney Tunes. Ha 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 ha.
Boo! 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 I don't. Okay. You know what? Maybe I'm being a little too negative about this. Maybe the fact that they got a 300-pound Neanderthal with a corpulent slug for a neck to be the network is a good idea. Maybe the single solitary worst wrestler in WCW history. Yes, even Nash was better than him. Maybe like having him in a star role in your program is just a genius idea. Maybe I should gouge my eyes out with an ice pick because that would be the equivalent of watching an episode of TNA.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is TNA this week. All in all, it was pretty average.
It was pretty surreal and just, Looney Tunes.
In its stupidity.
Space?
I
got nothing.
Average for TNA is a really bad episode of Family Matters, in which Urkel makes me want to die. I don't understand. I don't
Didn't
know
I do
why.
that?
I don't know why. I don't know why they would tease Goldberg, even though they know they're never going to get him in a million years. I don't know why they are bringing up Russo in an angle. Can this guy just stay off of TV? That's what I want. I want Vince Russo just away from TV forever. No ifs, ands, or buts.
What gets more screen time than Jay Lethal? And,
I'm going to go with the obvious one. Jay Lethal gets more screen time than Jay Lethal.
Interdimensional time-traveling evil witch lesbians get more screen time than Jay Lethal.
That sounds like the greatest sci-fi original movie ever made.
It has to be a porno, though.
It's how...
Go ahead.
a towel wrapped around Velvet Sky's head that's not even wet gets more screen time than Jay Lethal.
Goldberg gets more screen time than Jay Lethal.
And that's awful.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of TNA. Thank you, Jesus.
It's not the end of TNA. TNA will continue until the sun is literally a red giant.
Oh, that was a clusterfuck of a show.
Oh, God.
I'm the Palmer Man, ladies and gentlemen.
And I'm Digifox.
And I am Backlash in space.
And I'm War Machine. And I hate you people.
Good night and good luck, dear listeners.
In space.
Cue music.